I'm so tired. I have an Alani. I am an Alani girl. Hashtag not sponsored, but I wish it was. Welcome or welcome back. My name's Joanne, and no, you're not losing your mind. I am upping my posting schedule. I'm gonna be posting 3 times a week. Before it was twice a week. It was, what is in my hair? Before it was twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now it's 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Because I currently have the time and I want to grow my channel, so I figured what's the best way of doing that, and that's upping to 3 times a week. So hopefully that helps. I haven't even said what this video is. So I've done my favorite eyeshadow palettes in my collection video. I've done if I could only keep 1 palette per brand I own, with more than 1 palettes for a specific brand. I will have both of those linked in the description box. So I have done those palette videos, and I decided to do another one. If I have to restart my whole entire eyeshadow palette collection over again, what would I choose? I saw Chic do this video. I'll have her channel linked down in the description box, and along with everything I'm wearing on my face today. But yeah, I thought this was really fun. Like, if, say, I lost all my makeup somehow, like my house caught on fire. Also, the doors open today just for something different. I don't know. I just thought, what was I saying? So this is like if, say, my house were to catch on fire and I had to restart my eyeshadow palette collection over again. That is so sad to think about. Wow. But what are the palettes that I would pick? Most of my collection is high-end, some luxury. I would consider Adept Cosmetics like more of a luxury indie brand because they're expensive. I would say this is different than the other videos. I mean, there's gonna be overlap with my favorite palettes video, but I know there's 1 palette that's not in that video. At least 1 palette that's not in that video. So if I had to restart my entire eyeshadow palette collection, these are the palettes that I would pick. I have 2 palettes where they're not like necessities, because I don't think makeup is necessarily a necessity. No one has to wear makeup. But there are 2 that I'm like, if I have the funds and I want a couple other color stories, I would pick these 2. So I think I'm gonna save those 2 palettes for the end, and I'm gonna go through my other 4 palettes. I didn't pick that many because I figured if I'm starting my collection over again, I'm not gonna want to buy too many eyeshadow palettes. But I think this gives me quite a bit of variety. I have 2 neutral palettes. So the first, this was in my favorite palettes. Most of these palettes were in my favorite palettes video. And I hope you can still get all of these. I hope for my sake I can still get all of these. But the first palette is Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes. This palette, I love the color story so much. It's very much a neutral toned leaning warm palette, but these shimmers are absolutely gorgeous. Like, I'm sorry for the reflection, but like, oh my god, are they sparkly. These shimmers don't have super large particles in them, but they're a little finer than I would say Adept Cosmetics if you've tried Adept, but it still packs a punch and it's just so pretty. And again, I love the color story. It's very everyday friendly, very easy to work with, just a very easy palette to have to use. And yeah, I would definitely repurchase this palette. The last time I checked, it was still on his website. Hopefully it's still there. I will have all the makeup I'm wearing linked down below, as well as these palettes. So if you're curious about anything, just check down in the description box and it will be there for you. My next neutral palette, Melt Gemini. If you watch my deck of panning Project Pan, you will see I use this No Pan Left Behind, and this really surprised me when I used it. I don't remember the shimmers being favorites of mine, but after using them again, I'm like, how did I not like these before? How? Melt's formula, I will say, is not beginner friendly. Makeup by Mario is beginner friendly. Very easy to work with, very easy to build, very easy to blend. Just a very easy formula. Melt Cosmetics takes time to blend. They're very pigmented. You literally just need the tiniest bit. I literally just go in with a teeny tap, tap off the excess, and then go in. And that's basically enough for that eye. But if you know me, you know I love my warm tones. My warm neutrals, they're my baby. I love them. And although you don't get a ton of variety in here, I feel like it's enough to be able to pair with these other palettes. And it's just so pretty. I love grungy. I love mucky, murky type of shades. And that's what this palette is. I love it so much. Yeah, I would definitely repurchase this one. It's a staple for me. And then the next two palettes kind of go hand in hand. So I have my neutrals. I need colorful shadows because I love playing with color, although most of the time I'm wearing neutrals, like hello. I'm literally using 3 palettes today. Again, everything I'm using will be linked down below. I need colorful shades. I think a lot of you are gonna know where this is going. How could I not? Blend Bunny blends. And so these two next palettes go hand in hand because this is a matte rainbow palette. All mattes. I do have a pan. I have Pan and Deca panning, which is already live, so this is not a spoiler. But this has every color of the rainbow. They are coming out with a collab with Ellis Atlantis, who I haven't heard of until this collab. And their artistry is so pretty. But they have a bigger palette that has like iridescent shades in the middle with more mattes. But for me, that's too big. That's what she said. All right, moving on. Blends. This is like the perfect size. It has every color of the rainbow that you would want and to pair together. It has browns, which I don't love these brown tones. And then you have like grays and your black, your white. You have a black and a dark brown to deepen up any look that you would want to deepen up, which I love a deep outer corner in case you can't tell. And again, this just gives all the variety that you need to start your collection of colorful shades. Minus shimmers, which we'll get into. I love this palette. I don't think I need to talk more about Blend Bunny on my channel, but if you're new here, hello. I love Blend Bunny Cosmetics. Their shadows are very blendable, very buildable. They're pigmented. For me, they're pigmented without being too pigmented. Like, yes, you want to be careful because they're colorful shadows, so you don't want to go in with too much at once. But they build so nicely on each other and just a dream to work with. Gotta clear my throat because this next palette is a little pricey. I was gonna choose my Danessa Myricks Lightwork Volume 5 palette, but that's limited edition. You can't get it anymore. And I think this one isn't limited edition. I don't remember. I'm so sorry if it is. I'm so sorry to myself if it is. It's the Adept Cosmetics Seahorse palette. This has so many pretty shimmer shades. Honestly, I feel like what also put this on top of Danessa Myricks for me is the shade Long Snout, and like just like these warmer tones, and they would work well with the warmer tones in my blends palette. So that's really what put this palette ahead of Danessa Myricks Lightwork Volume 5, aside from the fact that you can't get the other one anymore. But Adept, okay, I do want to say for this palette, these shimmers, there are a couple different formulas. So there are ones that are more of like that iridescent type of shimmer. Like for example, like Low Crown or like Fig Me Thorny. Yep. I don't know what that means, but that's the shade name. So like those are more of like the iridescent, like wash type of sparkle. They're still very sparkly, but just there's not as much of a base to them. But the other ones like Giraffe and like Soft Coral, those have a base to them, and boy do they give impact. Those are the normal Adept shimmers that everyone knows and loves. Well, not everyone. Everyone has different preferences, but like those are the shimmers that I know and love. Okay, it's a shimmer I'm wearing today from my Heather Austin palette, because that's my Panda palette and I keep mentioning that, but I haven't used it much. I'm trying to get better at it, okay? Okay. But this is the 4th palette that I would bring in to restart my eyeshadow palette collection. The last 2, like I said, are just fun add-ons, if you will. If I have the funds, I can add them to my collection just to have a little more variety. My next palette is another Adept Cosmetics palette. This was in my if I could only keep one palette per brand video. So I guess that kind of spoils it, huh? If you watch that video. It's Samarian Sunset. Look how gorgeous this packaging is. I love the ombre sunset. Yes. I never know the difference between sunrise and sunset colors. I'm sorry. I don't know anything about colors and art and all of that. I just like doing makeup. This is just such a fun palette. And do these shimmers have a lot of the same shift, as you can see? Yes. But this is a fall grungy palette, and these are my tones. I love warm tones. I've said it before and I will say it again. I love warm tones. It's because I have a warm complexion. I have a golden undertone. So warm undertones just suit my skin better. Which is interesting because I don't like wearing yellow. This, it's grungy, it's beautiful, and I mentioned this before, but I'm just gonna mention it again for anyone that hasn't heard this. Adept palettes don't go super deep, which again, it's okay because I have the dark brown and the black from the Blend Bunny palette, and I can just reach into other things. I'm actually getting used to that now because I was a one palette type of girl, but now after project panning for a few months, I'll reach into other palettes. Why not? It's just fun. So yeah, this is just so fun for me. The color story is just perfect. Well, not perfect, but like I love the color story. Very fall-esque, very grungy, and this would just be really fun to play with along with my other palettes. Like, just imagine like these shimmers with like the warm neutrals in Gemini, or even the greens. Come on. Like, come on. That'd be so pretty. So yeah, this would be a fun little add-on palette. My last palette, I had to include a bellabeautébar palette. Okay, I just had to. I love them. I think my top 3 brands are Adept, Blend Bunny, and bellabeautébar. I'm not gonna lie. Laminatrix is high up there too. I love Laminatrix shadows. They're so nice. Anyways, that's literally not what this video is about. I decided to go with the basic Witch palette. And first of all, this packaging is so pretty. The lettering is like metallic pink, but it has it's like holographic. It's so pretty. But this is what the palette itself looks like. Very pretty. This just gives more colorful shades. I mean, do I have purples in the blends palette? Yes. Do I have pinks? Yes. But like this just adds a little bit more fun and like some more shimmers too. Like Cauldron is so pretty. Like these are all shifty. bellabeautébar, one of my favorite brands. I just love this palette. And again, it would just be a fun little addition to the stack that I have that I would choose to buy to restart my collection. It's so pretty. And then Perfectly Wicked can be used as like an everyday neutral type of shade. That'd be really pretty. Like with Makeup by Mario. Oh my god. Gorgeous. But yeah, I couldn't not include this palette. I mean, look at it. Look at it. Black Cat. It might look like a black on camera, but it's definitely a deep purple shade. Oh, hello. Okay, that was the cat. Yep. It's just her world and we're living in it. Yeah, I just had to include this palette. I just had to. And again, if I just have, in this hypothetical scenario, if I have extra funds to bring another palette in, I would bring in Basic Witch. I rambled on about those palettes long enough. Thank you so much for watching this video. I think I mentioned that I am going up to 3 videos a week. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so just look out for that. And with all that being said, I hope you have a great day, a great night, whatever time it is for you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.